Alright everybody, everything should be sorted. We are back once again. This is actually a best of 3 game that we have gone to. This is going to be Beliebers taking on Simplicity. Beliebers is going to be your Radiant side team, and Dire team will be Simplicity. Again, they decided to change it, I guess. It used to be all best of 1s, but this is apparently a best of 3. Simplicity leads 1-0 in this current best of 3. Got into the picks a little bit late, had to change some overlays for this particular game. And we're going to have Lycan, Enchantress banned out by the Radiant side, also CK, Chen, and Invoker taken out by Simplicity. So far, I think we're all kind of used to seeing these types of bans at this phase in the game. But Simplicity, we had the chance to cast a little bit yesterday, along with Beliebers as well. And both these teams look pretty good. I think actually both of them won their respective games, so that's obviously why they're here. But first pick out from Simplicity is going to be Draskyl. And that also leaves other heroes in the pool, such as Leshrac and Windrunner. Very high tier heroes. CK actually going to be banned out here. So every time it seems that we see a CK, that hero typically wins. So I think we're going to be seeing more and more CK bans as time goes on. But once again, my name is Draskyl. I want to thank you guys for joining me for this cast. Once again, this is ECAL Qualifications. This is getting towards the end of the day, I believe. Simplicity wins this. They will take this series 3-0. I'm not sure if we have any games after this particular best of 3, but I will check between games, as I always do, to make sure we catch every single game that we possibly can, as I enjoy bringing you guys these games as much as I hope you enjoy watching them. And Brewmaster also going to be picked up here by Beliebers, so they're looking at Leshrac Brewmaster versus the Draskyl. Going to wait to see what the last 2 of the first pick phase for Simplicity turn out to be. Venomancer is also going to be picked up for the 2nd game in a row. And Venomancer, one of those heroes who used to be predominantly used way back in the beta, before a lot of, I'd say, 10 to 15 extra heroes came into the game. I had my beta quite a while ago, and when I first started watching competitive games, that's pretty much what it was the majority of the time. And he fell off a bit, but in this tournament, seeing a bit of resurgence in play. Definitely fun to see things changing. Just waiting on what the last of the first picking phase will be for Simplicity here. Get back to Beliebers to see what they're going to answer with. And Lich is actually going to round out their lineup. So they let themselves very open in terms of what they want to do for mid and top lane, or short lane in their case. Whereas the Draskyl is likely going to be going to that bottom lane and soloing against whatever Beliebers is going to have there. Shadow Demon picked up here by Beliebers as well. And it seems like a lot of these supports are kind of dependent on what tournament you watch, because these teams especially are really starting to dig the Shadow Demon and the Venomancer. We saw the Lich a couple of times, but for the most part, I mean, Lich and Venomancer just aren't seen that often. Shadow Demon is kind of the, I guess you could say, flavor of the month support. He's the one who's been seen more and more in the international level tournaments and stuff like that. Just waiting on the last couple of picks here. And we are already into the 2nd banning phase, so looking at the teams right now, we definitely know that Simplicity is going to need some kind of semi-carry and a middle laner. That's probably what they're going to be going for. For Beliebers, they have the Brewmaster, they have the support in the Shadow Demon or the Leshrac, depending on how the lanes work out. And we're going to have to see what they're going to go with here. Morphling and Enigma taken out of the pool here. Morphling by Beliebers and Enigma by Simplicity. Broodmother going to be the last ban out here from Simplicity. So now, with the Brood ban being this late in the pool, I mean, there's still a pretty good possibility that Beliebers could have picked it up, but with the Draskyl, I don't know why you would be that worried, and Sand King wasn't banned out either. They definitely could have picked him given the fact that they already had 2 range dedicated supports. But I guess that means that they're going to be gearing for more of a late game oriented style, because Brood is kind of really difficult against that. Now we are into the last picking phase. Only 4 heroes left to go, and then we were going to go ahead and get the game started. Again, for those of you guys just tuning in, my name is Draskyl. This is a best of 3 between Beliebers and Simplicity. Simplicity currently leads 1-0 in the ECAL qualifications match. Got about 45 seconds left on this clock here to see what Simplicity is going to want to go for. And with the Morphling banned out, that's definitely one of the stronger semi/full carries they can go with. And they're going to go with an AM. And I really like the choice of AM here because they don't quite have enough to really stop him. They do have the Shadow Demon, and Soul Catcher is great for picking off AM if you have the burst damage to follow it up, but a Leshrac and a Panda are not quite enough. You're going to need a little bit more than that. You're going to need another stun. You're going to need something like a Riki maybe to just follow him around and make sure you can cloud on him when you get those stuns off and keep him in there. Also, the ridiculous amount of damage that a Shadow Demon gives to a Riki by Disruption and Soul Catcher. I mean, you think that the backstab buff was crazy? Just wait until you see the backstab buff with a Shadow Demon. I would really like to see that come out from Beliebers right now. It would kind of close up their lanes just a bit, but at the very least they would have something else to really help out with that AM. They might be also looking at a Beastmaster as well. They don't have a dedicated long laner. Windrunner is still not picked or banned either. That's a bit interesting. Heroes valued quite highly. Going to be cutting into the reserve time here, looking to try to get the last pick to round out their team for Simplicity as we wait for the last two from Beliebers. Going to keep using up some time here. Really want to make sure they get the right choice for the situation. The one thing about Simplicity's team right now is they have 0 stuns, so the Brewmaster is going to pretty much guaranteed be able to get his ultimate off. Getting kills in the early stage of the game, really the heroes that you should see dying are probably going to be Shadow Demon and Leshrac. Those two do not have any escape mechanism whatsoever, so anytime they get caught, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. Whereas Brewmaster, again, once he gets that 6, he'll be able to get himself out of hairy situations with that. And I really think that Simplicity's goal here is just to go for complete lane dominance. Like, having a Lich with an Anti-Mage, especially if they send that middle, and they have like a Venomancer top with something else, and the Darkseer bottom, their lanes are going to be very, very strong. They could also potentially tri-lane, and they're going to go with a Storm. So after seeing the fact that there wasn't too much lockdown coming out of Beliebers, they're going to last pick the Storm. Picking up the Anti-Mage also is really brilliant in this case, because Anti-Mage obviously is so good against Storm in the late game. Because you can just right-click and burn his mana, and basically insta-kill him, because he typically has so much mana that even the heroes around him are going to take a ridiculous amount of damage. I really think that Simplicity has a cool picking style right here. Belieber's going to be forced to react to it, I'm sure. They need something else. I really think a Riki would probably be their only option at this point. They need something to help lock down a Storm now and an Anti-Mage. Not to mention you have Surge coming out from Darkseer as well. Like, they just have so much mobility on that team. And really all they have to stop the mobility is one stun. Oh, there's another stun. There's Tiny going to be coming out. So it looks like they're going to go all in on the early to mid game. Tiny can carry, given a specific item build. Like if you get something like Aghanim's AC crit, we've seen that before from Quantic, i.e. Korok. If anybody saw that game, that was pretty crazy. He actually out-carried an AM as Tiny. And I think that was one of the first times I'd ever seen something like that. But looking at the lineup really quick, oh my goodness, do we not have a pause? We don't have a pause. This actually might be the first game of the day that has started without a pause within the first 10 to 15 seconds of heroes being picked. I'm pretty happy about that. I know it's little things, but hey, gotta appreciate them when they come. So pretty much all of Beliebers are making their way towards the jungle. We're going to have Lich up here with probably the AM. Pretty much to be expected. Got the Lich here being played by Boogaloo. Happy Cat going to be playing Anti-Mage. Sleesel on Storm Spirit. Kitty once again playing Darkseer. We saw him yesterday do a very good job both the games that he played Darkseer. And Sheep going to be playing on Venomancer. Then for Beliebers, we have Exiled on Leshrac. Joik going to be playing on Shadow Demon. Cakes on Panda. Burr on... Oh no, wait. Actually, does he even have a name? Is he just Belieber? I'm just going to call him CM. He could be CM for this game. And Ryu is going to be playing on Tiny. The Manor, good luck, have fun coming out.
Oh, thanks a lot.
We're going to have to see how lanes shape up here.
The battle begins.
So right now, Leshrac looks like he's going back to try to block creeps, so we might be looking at either a dual lane mid or a 2-2-1, depending on how things work out here. So Shadow Demon is going top with the Leshrac. That means they're going to be going up against that Anti-Mage and Lich lane. And honestly, dual range, this might be enough to keep that anti-mage off the creep wave. We'll have to see, though. It's going to be really important early game, especially for Beliebers. They need to have momentum going into the mid game if they want to have any hope of winning this in the late game. Oh, middle lane, we got a Nova being used on siL here. Storm Spirit being chased back to the tower, so they are going to do a 2-2-1. Solo bottom Brewmaster. That's something that I really did not expect. Brewmaster going up against a Darkseer. I think the Brewmaster is going to be struggling here a lot. You can see the Ion Shell is very, very annoying to deal with. Storm's going to be having a rough time too. The one nice thing about Brewmaster, though, is he doesn't really need a lot of farm. He's one of those heroes where you can be satisfied with just getting a relatively fast level 6. And he will actually get some CS here. He's doing a pretty nice job. Top lane Happy Cat going to be relying on his support to pretty much pull all day, every day. Trying to make sure that he gets the most amount of experience and gold possible by getting those creeps. And bottom lane, we can see Kitty playing this very aggressive. And I think really the story of the game is going to be what this Tiny can accomplish. If he can't do anything, if he can't get his mid game going, if he can't get the stun toss combos on heroes that he needs to, like the Storm and the AM in the early stages, especially with a Shadow Demon, man, that combo is going to do so much freaking damage. Even an anti-mage would probably die in that with full magic shield because of the 50% extra damage taken. Oh crap, I forgot to turn off the overlay. And now bottom lane, just in time after the overlay was fixed. Cakes is going to get dove here bottom lane. And first blood is going to go in favor of Simplicity. So getting that first blood right there. Venomancer Darkseer is such a powerful dual lane. You just simply can't run away from it. And siL's going to get chased down here as well. And we were going to have another pause because apparently somebody on Radiant was streaming, which is definitely not a good thing. And apparently everybody's good to go again, so I think he turned his stream off. Currently 1-0 in favor of Simplicity at this point. 1,000 gold lead right now at only 3 minutes. It's actually pretty significant. That's definitely a lot farther behind than I thought they would be. Their lane should actually be winning top and mid pretty handily. I mean, it's dual range versus an anti-mage who's basically soloing this lane. The Lich is going to help a little bit with the denies, but it's just not going to be that good. And looking at the experience, it's about 500 in favor of the dire side, so not really that crazy. Middle lane, siL's currently level 3 compared to the level 3 of Tiny and the CM. Actually, CM's only level 2. Almost level 3 yourself.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Disruption going off onto the anti-mage here. Wait for the stun timing. It is right on. Soul Catcher going to be used, but not taking nearly enough damage. Gale will be used on the Shadow Demon right here. He does not have disruption. Nice TP reaction coming out from Venomancer. More auto attacks going off. Happy Cat goes in, gets stunned though. Going to take some damage. Edict is popped. Joik trying to stun as much as he can right here. Or juke rather, but it's just not going to matter. Soul Catcher is cast, but Happy Cat gets the last hit. Happy Cat barely living through that.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
And we're going to have a fortification glyph used. Looks like Radiant fortified for some reason, and they're going to get the deny on the tower. I guess there might have been a catapult down there or something that was going to get the last hit. Happy Cat still farming away here top. 1-0 right now, 13 CS at 5 minutes. That's actually not too bad considering the situation that he was in. siL trying to do what he can to farm mid here. Already has 1 death, almost level 5. Not really too much happening at this point. Both teams kind of just sitting back here, playing a bit passively. It's been a handful of kills, but most of them have been in this top lane. Looking at the gold, about 1,500 in favor of Simplicity at this point. Over 1,000 experience. You can see Darkseer just playing this very aggressively. He doesn't even have wards, he's just that confident that he won't die. Should even a Leshrac farming away top. I think the longer this game goes, obviously, you got to start worrying about the Anti-Mage at some point. I mean, his farm isn't great, necessarily, but he will be able to get a Battle Fury or a Vanguard, depending on how he wants to play this. I don't know if Battle Fury would be the right choice, because they know that their team's going to be playing very aggressively. Like, Simplicity should be the one on the back foot here for the majority of the game. They don't have a whole lot of stuns. They actually only really have 1 in the Storm Spirit pull, and that's it. I mean, I guess you could say Lich is a mini-stun, but it's not really going to do too much for him. Cake's going to be forced back here off the creep wave from that Ion Shell. Happy Cat kind of just chilling out here top with his Ring of Health, trying to do some farming. Two heroes currently bottom right now. They might be looking to go on Cakes. Cakes is at level 5. If they go on this, they could definitely kill him. We have Sheep coming in. There's a Surge in, and the Gale will make contact. Cakes in a lot of trouble here. He is very close to level 5, but just not going to get it in time. Vacuum back in. That's going to be a free kill for Venomancer. Gets it with his dot damage. TP coming in from Leshrac. The Surge is used, so the stun's not going to be nearly close enough. And in top lane as well, we have Shadow Demon going down there with the assistance of a hasted Storm Spirit. Anti-Mage getting another kill, so 2-4 right now in favor of Simplicity. They might be looking to push this top tier tower. Man, Tiny moves so fast with Phazon. Holy cow. About 8 minutes into the game so far. Gold still climbing in favor of Simplicity along with experience. Roughly 2,500 gold, 1,500 experience. Getting closer to 2K at this point. Blanket from A. I'm going to try to steal the deny on the catapult. Unsuccessful attempt. Vanguard picked up on the Darkseer. Venomancer has his boots. Leshrac's down here all by himself. He does have 1,300 gold, though, saving up quite a bit of money. Not really sure what he's going to choose to go for here. Venomancer also making his way back down, but there is a ward that's going to spot him out, so Leshrac is definitely keen to some gank coming. And another ward also placed by the Venomancer, so 2 wards here from either team. And we can see Tiny kind of phasing himself over here. Got the pings coming out. Pretty obvious that they have a ward. Storm Spirit's been kind of left alone, though, for the last couple of minutes, and with that assist top, he's got 35 CS now at just under 9 minutes. For getting dual lane mid, he's actually doing quite well. We can see the smoke up used. Oh, Venomancer going to get caught out. There's the freeze and the stun toss combo. Actually, he doesn't even stun. He doesn't even need to. Frost Dome is going to be more than enough to get that kill. Now he's going to save a stun. Can he actually get in range of the Darkseer? There's an Ion Shell on the creep to force back the Tiny. Gonna see TP coming top. 3 heroes currently top right now. Ooh, and it looks like bottom. Double damage Storm Spirit picked off that Crystal Maiden. Now there's 3 heroes top. They might be looking to go on Happy Cat right here. They're gonna spot out Cakes. Stun way off the mark. He throws it. Holy cow, did you see that toss distance? Boogaloo, I am sorry, buddy, but you are going down. The toss right into Brewmaster Ultimate. The aspects are going to get vacuumed back in, but Darkseer gets Cyclone right after the fact. Gale will hit Ryu right here. Tiny trying to run away, but he is just so freaking fast, man, with those face boots. They're not even going to be able to chase. Boogaloo just gets annihilated. Like, I don't even know what to say to that. He tossed him so far, I couldn't even see Boogaloo on my screen unless I moved the camera. How is it even possible? I've definitely never seen anything like that before.
Middle tower is under attack.
Bottom lane, Leshrac still farming down here. Up to 2,200 gold. Not sure what he's going to go for. Some players like going for the drum phase, get that extra move speed. Some players like going for Bloodstone and BKB just to be tanky. It's definitely preference. And he's just going to go pick up his mana boots at the side shop. Continue his push bottom lane as Simplicity decides they want to push top. Got some Plague Wards going down here. Venommancer tanking some tower shots there.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Ion Shell popped on Kitty right here. Tiny's in the mix right now. He throws at the stun on the Darkseer. Probably not the best tier to go on. Cakes gonna get his mana burn, throws at the Gale. They're gonna go in on the Shadow Demon's there, throws the Disruption, toss onto Venomancer. That's a free kill for Tiny. And now it looks like Darkseer's in some trouble, gets frozen in place after the Soul Catcher and Disruption was used. And that is going to be a very dead Darkseer. Crystal Maiden also picking up the kill on Darkseer. And then bottom lane, Leshrac kills.
Top tower is under attack.
Wait, who did he kill bottom? Alright, he killed the Lich. So definitely interesting play right there. And Beliebers has kind of made their way back into this game a bit. 7-5. Golds and experience both arcing their way back up into Beliebers' favor. Gonna see TP reaction coming mid from Tiny.
Thou art denied.
Oh, top lane. Cecil's gonna spot out Joik right here. Oh, never mind. They're just going to go straight for the CM. Poor CM just caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. Oh, and he's actually going to dive in onto this. He gets disrupted. Joy going to try to TP out here. He gets vacuumed, though. Cancels the TP. The Chain Frost as well. It's still going to bounce. And the TP was canceled, but I believe that was Leshrac right there who tried to TP up there. But he decides against it with his better judgment. Regen popped on Tiny. Going to try to cut somebody off in this top lane. In the meantime, Simplicity pressuring this tower. 3 heroes right here. Some Plague Wards going down as well. Brewmaster coming up with Leshrac, gonna try to stop this, but Venomancer does get the last 10 of the tower. Oh, missed stun right there. And he gets scaled as well. Needs to be careful, man. He could potentially get caught. Oh, nice stun, though, onto Venomancer. Venomancer quite low on health, and he gets vacuumed backwards. The clap doesn't actually hit Venomancer, but it doesn't matter. Edict's more than enough to get that kill. Ryu running off to the side, away from that Ion Shelled creep, and now Boogaloo also forced to retreat. So right there, they get a tower and a hero, basically, or 2 heroes for 1. So I think that... pretty sure that Simplicity is going to be happy with that. 4,000 gold advantage for them right now. Four members from Simplicity here sitting top. Anti-Mage split pushing bottom. Using the Remnant for some extra vision right there. Tiny getting kind of close to his blink. He's got about 1,200 gold right now. It's going to help them a lot when they have that initiation. Allows them to pick off heroes that would otherwise be pretty much unkillable, such as Darkseer and Storm Spirit especially. And they're just going to go ahead and TP back. Storm wants to go. He can possibly leap on this. There is no tier 1 tower top. Anti-Mage kind of just sitting down here doing his own thing right now. Sitting at 56 and 23, 2-0. So he's recovered quite nicely from his early game farm. He wasn't really getting too much done due to that dual range top lane. Double damage is going to spawn on top of Simplicity. Here comes the Smoke Gang. Sizzle going in right onto Leshrac. And the Gale's going to catch Shadow Demon too, so that's going to be a free 2 for nothing. Leshrac, Shadow Demon just dying pretty much straight away right there. However, Belieber's going to take this time to go ahead and push top. There are TPs though. I'm pretty sure at least a handful of people have TPs, so yep. They can TP to this tower if they want to. Looks like Darkseer goes to the back tower. Glyph already used. Whoever's going to come up here needs to do it fast, otherwise this tower is going to go down. The Glyph is already done. We're going to have Venomancer TP into the tower. It is in deny range. The Gale's going to hit right on top of Brewmaster, forced to pop his ultimate. Now he's going to turn around and go onto Kitty right here, doing quite a bit of damage. He does get frostbitten, but no follow-up. Where did Tiny go? Tiny is running off on the side. I guess he didn't have mana to throw out his stun again. He throws out the chain, but not going to do anything. Now he gets the kill right there. Tiny picking it up. Now Storm Spirit gets the return kill on Tiny himself, and he is not done here yet. He has double damage with that Surge and Ion Shell, trying to close the gap. Can he get one more ball off with another auto attack? He missed! The passive made him miss! Oh no, he's actually going to live. Panda's going to get away. However, Shadow Demon, not going to be so lucky. Unbelievable. Maxing out that passive. Got the lucky dodge right there. Allowed him to get away from that otherwise pretty much for sure death. Now 9-11 back into favor kill score wise for the Dire team. Happy Cat's going to run right by Leshrac and then just be like, yeah, whatever. We can't do anything to each other. Just going to go our separate ways and farm. Really nice reaction right there. Making sure that they defended the tower, but that thing is still in deny range, man. 16 HP. Somebody needs to get up there and kill that tower. And, you know, not somebody from Beliebers, but we'll see what happens. So it looks like siL is going to go for the Phase Boot Orchid build, and I mean, he is going to hit very, very hard. He's 3-1-4 right now. He's doing very well, but he has 800 HP. So a Stun Toss combination kills him, basically, at this point in the game. Like, he just dies to it. So that's the one risky run going this build. He does have a regen rune. He's going to go scout out bottom lane. He's going to find Panda right here. Spearmaster kind of waddles his way back around the tree, who also has a bracer of his own. He's going to try to make that drum sometime soon. 4 heroes spot him from Simplicity. Actually, all 5 from Beliebers, so they might be trying to push this right now. The Tiny actually went drum instead of going for a blink, so they're not going to have the initiation. Right now, Storm's sitting on that regen rune. Plague Ward wall up here. And Tiny's actually going to TP away. They're just going to go on this. Yeah, that Tiny TPing away. And Vision, you got to be really careful with that because now siL wants to go in on this. He is going to get purged and Soul Catch it right there. But all the spells now are currently down. There's a big clap. Oh, you got to get out of there, Storm. He dies way too fast. Another stun onto Venomancer as well. There's a Pulse Nova and Edict being popped. But it looks like ECAL is going to go down shortly after Venomancer. And in the meantime, we see that it's a 2 for 2, basically. And now, Tiny coming back in from middle lane, throwing out the toss and getting the kill on Lich, and Darkseer drops as well. So that is a 2 for 4. Really awkward engagement. Like, Storm just went into the middle of that team fight and just didn't ult back out. That's what happens when you have no health, man. You just pretty much die. He just tried to get out of there, and he had 800 base HP, he got nuked twice, and just nothing he could do. Still waiting to see Animage and his farm kind of pick up here. He does have 90 CS now, so he's recovered pretty much fully at this point. He's going to be getting very close to his Battle Fury. It's about 1200 away. Venomancer looking at a 1-4 as a support, not really too surprising there. siL has died a couple of times as well. Oh, Haster picked up by the Tiny. Needs to be careful though. 2 heroes here. And if he gets stun comboed properly, then he could potentially go down. Gonna see a TPN coming in from Crystal Maiden, throws the Nova, trying to push the lane out a bit. Might be looking to push the tier 2 mid. I don't know why everybody's here. Actually, there is no tier 1. I guess they just want to farm as 4 people. Or go back and smoke up. Now, in that case, that kind of smoke is pretty obvious. Whenever you have 4 people standing right on top of each other and you run away at the same time, I mean, that has to scream smoke. As you can see, bottom lane is already getting way back. I mean, yeah, that's just really, really obvious smoking right there. So that smoke's really not going to get anything done, and in the meantime, looks like Leshrac got a tower kill and TP'd his way back to mid. Looking at the gold graph right now, still about 3,000, maybe 3,500 in favor of Dire Side Experience, looking about the same, 2,500-ish. They've been able to keep themselves ahead for a pretty good majority of the game. But the one trump card they have is that they've been pretty much fighting 4v5. The Animage has not been there. So all these fights that they're taking are on uneven ground, and they're still managing to stay a bit ahead. And that's the one thing that Beliebers really has to be careful of. Like, if you're fighting 4v5s, or even team fights when the Animage isn't there, and speaking of, looks like Leshrac's going to get caught out here on the side. Has to try to throw out the stun. Pops the Edict, but he's going to dodge the stun with his Ball Lightning. That's going to be a free kill for him. Oh, but he gets caught out by the hasted Tiny. And there we go, man. Storm just can't live through that. Edict was still doing damage to Boogaloo after the fact that he went down. Beautiful Plague Ward block, though, by Sheep. Is he really going to be able to get away? He gets surged around the trees. Shadow Demon camp it, and he blocks him again! Oh my god, this Venomancer is just making plays on plays. But I think that Darkseer might actually be in a bit of trouble here. He drops the wall, throws it the vacuum, but doesn't pull him back in. Purge will eventually go off. And now Shadow Demon going to be forced back here, trying to TP. Will he be able to go down? He does die before the TP goes off. But in the meantime, looks like Radiant got a tower bottom first tier going down. Wow, that Venomancer just made so many plays. That Lich has got to be pretty happy with himself. Courier bringing what should be the remnants of the Battle Fury. Yep. He's going to be bringing the rest of it up to the Anti-Mage. So now Anti-Mage's farm is going to get even more out of control. But man, like he has just not been anywhere this game. He's just been sitting in the jungle and farming, pushing lanes. He's going to have to make his presence known soon, because after a team fight like that, even though the Venomancer played well and they saved the Lich, it's just not really doing them any good right now. Like the Anti-Mage really has to try to pick up his farm a bit more. Later in the game, they will have a little bit of an advantage. Shadow Demon also has some Tranquil Boots, by the way. Leshrac going straight for a BKB. Not even getting a drum, not even getting anything else, just BKB straight up. Brewmaster has his Blink Dagger. Crystal Maiden with the Bracer. Oh man, Darkseer getting caught on the wrong side of the woods right here. Stun, and wow. Soul Catcher just went off in the middle of that toss with a double damage punch, and you saw how fast that Darkseer died. Like, that was just unbelievable. He even had a cloak, too. That's with a cloak. That's what the power of Soul Catcher can do for you right there. Anti-Mage not going to choose to go into that lunch rack right there.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Sheep throwing up his wall of Plague Wards middle. And honestly, because of the fact that the Tiny didn't go blink, he's going to go straight for the Ags, which, by the way, he almost has 500 gold away. I don't know if the Anti-Mage is going to be able to carry this game anymore, because if Tiny had gone blink, then it would have set him back from the Ags a little bit more. They might have had a bit more teamfight presence, but at the end of the day, the Anti-Mage, in terms of being able to carry, is still going to be slightly ahead. But because the Tiny didn't have to buy a blink, and he bought a drum, and they're still winning teamfights now, they got a couple of towers, they're catching up in gold quite a bit. It's actually almost back to dead even. I think that later in the game, their team fight is just going to be too much to deal with. The Storm is going a really strange build. He should have his Orchid sometime soon, but no BKB, which means he's still incredibly susceptible to dying. Like, I'm just really a little bit concerned with the item choices so far coming out of Simplicity. We can see Beliebers once again sitting here mid, letting the tower get into the 9 range before killing all the creeps. Definitely a nice play there. Taking away any extra gold that the Dire side would have otherwise gotten. We're going to see a quad smoke up here. Might see an engagement onto middle.
Middle tower has been denied.
Actually, I guess they're just going to run top and try to bait out the AM. Vitality booster also picked up on the AM. You can see Tiny making his way up here, about 100 gold away from his scepter. Gonna throw out that stun toss, and he does have the gold for it now. In the meantime, mid looks like we're gonna have a little bit of action. Maybe not. Smoke was busted out right there. Tiny immediately finishes his Ags. Gonna send it to himself right now. Oh, surge in from Kitty. He wants to go on this, looking for the vacuum. He does manage to hit 2. That's 2 clones. BKB pop by Leshrac, and just look at how much damage is being done. The toss in as well. 3 already dead for Simplicity, and they just can't fight this. There's just no way. Leshrac does too much damage, and he denies his own teammate. So that was basically a 1 for 4. They all just died so fast. Leshrac ran in with the BKB on, just turned basically every single person on their team into mist. That was unbelievable. That fight was over before it even started. And this is looking like it's going to be a game 3. The AM cannot carry this game by himself. It's just not going to happen. This Tiny right now 7-1 and 700. and 8 CS with his Ags drum phase at just 25 minutes. He's also got another 1,000 gold from winning that pretty one-sided team fight. And you can see how much damage Leshrac and Tiny do together. And he's going to eat that last time in the tower for another 516 gold. Happy Cat's still just kind of farming away. I don't know, man. I have my doubts about Simplicity's late game. I mean, on paper, an Anti-Mage and Storm are great late game in this situation, but because of the way the team fights are going, you can't always just rely on what should win, technically. I think it's just going to be based on the fact that Simplicity just hasn't gotten anything done. Like, they've gotten a couple of tower kills, but that was pretty much in the first 10 to 15 minutes of the game. Last 10 minutes, they haven't really done anything. They didn't go for Roche. All those towers are dead, so they could have easily gotten to a Roche and potentially killed it before there was any reaction from Radiant. We've seen that happen in a lot of games so far in this tournament. And I don't know, man. Decision making so far and how their items have looked, I'm not sure if they're going to have what it takes to get out of this. Gonna see some pings in the bottom lane. I think Happy Cat might just be going straight for a heart. Or saving up for his Manta. He can buy a Reaver relatively soon, so we'll have to see. Buys himself another TP. And he's going to go for Manta instead. Okay, so he just bought the Vitality booster just to have the extra health. Top lane, we got Storm farming away, and man, his farm has slowed down so much. He had those same items like 8 or 9 minutes ago. That's really the big problem. Like, Storm needs to have farm pretty badly. He needs his Orc and a BKB fast. Like, he can't sit on these items because, as we saw in the last team fight, he just couldn't do anything. Basically, get hit once by a stun, and you die to Leshrac, just residual damage and a toss from Tiny. Happy Cat still content to sit away and farm, trying to split push as best he can. And the gold is still relatively tight. It's about even. Experience, though, spiking pretty heavily in favor right now of Beliebers. They're about 2k ahead. Going away from what they're like 6k, 4k deficit. Yeah. A couple of minutes ago, this game looked entirely different than it does now. But I'm pretty sure most people would agree when I say that the mid game from Radiant is much, much stronger at this point. Even heroes like Darkseer, who are innately very tanky, can die to the Soul Catcher stun toss combo, especially with a Leshrac to back it up too, and a CM. No one is unkillable to that lineup, basically. Gonna see some pushing here, done by Cakes. 3 members of Beliebers kind of walking through the jungle. Looks like they want to try to push up bottom. Lich trying to do what he can here, doing some dual ancienting with Venomancer. siL does finally finish his Orchid, so that's going to be nice for him. If they can get a decent engagement where they catch somebody like Leshrac or the Brewmaster or even the Tiny, I mean, that'll be huge. They need to kill him extremely fast, so I don't know if they have that kind of burst potential. I mean, yeah, they got Chain Frost and Vacuum, but they don't really kill people that fast. They just do a lot of consistent damage. Gonna see TP reaction coming in from the rest of Simplicity right here. Illusion, we're gonna be picked up by that Tiny. Oh, and they're going to catch him out here. He gets the Orchid used on him. He's going to be all by himself. He doesn't have a Hyperstone, but I don't think it's going to matter too much. And Tiny is probably going to go down here, but not after getting a big stun toss combination off. Is he really still not dead? Venomancer is actually the first one to fall. Cyclone used on the Darkseer. Now the BKB Leshrac running in and killing Lich with Edict and Pulse Nova. Tiny didn't even drop there. He's going to be able to TP out. In the meantime, it looks like Darkseer is going to be in some trouble here too. Still got CM here waiting to throw out the Nova and the secondary stun. He will get it off. Split Earth cancel cast right there. Cast the Iron Shell on his own teammate. And AM's coming back into the team fight. This could be a big turnaround. There's a Mana Void. And it looks like Cakes should be able to TP out here. One more auto attack. Oh my god. Did he really live through that? Wow. I cannot believe that he didn't die right there. I mean, honestly, that fight probably couldn't have gone any better. Except if the Tiny wasn't able to get off that stun toss combo. Which did result in 2 kills, basically. But they caught him out, and they couldn't even kill him. Like, that's a really bad situation to be in. If they can keep doing that, though, that'll be to their benefit. Looks like after picking up the Hyperstone, Tiny wants to go straight for an AC. Didn't die during that last team fight. Oh, in the jungle right here, Shadow Demon getting picked off by siL. Nice reaction right there. Spotting him out with the ward, knowing he'd be on the high ground. Really well done. Trying to get himself back into the game. And that's kind of one of Storm's strengths is, if you're a support and you're by yourself, you might as well consider that hero like a Riki. He's going to pop out, kill you, and just be gone. And there's not really anything your team can do about it. Gotta try to stick together at this phase in the game. Gonna see the first Roche attempt of the game being done right here from Simplicity using that Lich Armor. Making the AM pretty tanky. Has his mat to finish with that Vitality Booster. That last team fight was really something that Simplicity needed to. If they had been initiated on by the Tiny rather than catching the Tiny first, that fight would have had a completely different feel to it. And is Roshan actually going to die fast enough here? Here we go. Alright, now AM does have the Aegis. Saw some members of Beliebers kind of sitting around the bottom rune spot looking like they wanted to go in, but not going to. Tiny making his way up mid. And it looks like they're going to try to push one of the last tier 2 towers, tier 2 top. Still standing strong, about 90% health. And right now, Storm is not currently there. He does have TP, though. He is going to go for that BKB, has enough for the Mithril Hammer shortly. Edict popped, and just look at how much damage they do, man. Oh my god. Tower just died instantly. Not even going to try to defend that, I guess. And giving away free towers is something that they can't afford to do, man. It's not like a Storm can side lane push faster than a Tiny and a Leshrac and kill your towers. You have to either react, or you have to get something out of it. Making decisions like this, where you basically just lose something for nothing, that's kind of the point where you're on your back foot, and you just have to try to make something happen to get back into the game, especially when your AM has an Aegis. Like, that was a situation where I think that they should have fought. AM's going to have a heart pretty soon. Getting close to that Reaver. BKB going to be down to about another 1,000 gold for the Storm. That'll be huge for him. That means that Storm can freely initiate rather than having to worry about getting insta-killed by Tiny or going into a Leshrac, God forbid, and just getting melted by Edict and Pulse Nova. Going to see a group up here from Beliebers. Are they going to be smoking? That is the question. I do see one smoke. Are they going to try to smoke up here? Ward is dropped in the middle lane by the Venomancer. We can see Simplicity kind of running around here, still trying to get AM as much farm as they can. BKB finished on Tiny, man. His farm is phenomenal. He's got 185 CS, 7, 1, and 8. And he's got a BKB Ags Hyperstone Phase Drum at 33. So he's basically got a full inventory at 33 minutes. Aside from the one item. So his farm is pretty ridiculous. AM also, though, doing very well for himself. 246 CS and 4 kills. 30 denies as well. Looks like he's going to stop here for a second to try to buy his Reaver. Or he just stopped for no reason. I guess the chicken didn't even move. Huh, that was weird. Gonna see a 5-man smoke up here from Beliebers. Looks like they want to try to get some kills going.
Over here now.
So we can see Storm using Ball Lightning off into the corner of the map here to escape any would-be gank. Beliebers making the way across the river. No counter wards, though. But every single person right now from Simplicity is in their base. They definitely know something's up. This is definitely the position that they need. If they can take a team fight at their base, I think it'll go pretty well for them. But if they try to engage outside, maybe at a tier 2 would be okay, but the base is the most ideal situation to try to fight when you think that you're a little bit behind in terms of team fight capability. Oh my god, double damage Tiny. Double damage Tiny. Oh, you can't waste your Fortify like that. If they don't go in on this, it's going to be a mistake to Fortify. Yep. Now it means that they don't have Fortify for the base, and that's another free tower that they just gave away. And this, again, has a lot to do with the warding. Like, if you ward the river, when the other team is playing aggressively, you can see when they get to your side of the map, sure, but when you see when they come to your side of the map, what can you do in this situation aside from sitting in your base? You're not really accomplishing anything with those wards other than knowing that you can't do anything. So when you ward, I mean, you want to have wards that can see the movement between lanes. I mean, yeah, they could see them going bottom, but at the same time, it wouldn't have done them any good anyway because of the smoke. And right now, Panda's going to go ahead and TP out of any trouble that he would head bottom. Got some indication of a potential mid push coming. Looks like Orange wants to go try to end the game. That is the Tiny player. Storm has enough money to finish his BKB if he wants to. I think that would definitely be a wise choice. You can see Beliebers kind of sitting in their base right now. Got the Flying Frog Courier. And right now we're going to see another smoke up. 5-man smoke going straight down mid. They're going to try to catch somebody out. They're going to try to push and potentially end the game right here. The thing about Tiny is if you lose a team fight after he gets this many items, you're basically going to be looking at a base wipe, like unless you have buybacks. That hero partnered with Leshrac kills stuff so ridiculously fast that you just can't defend against it. And this is going to be a mistake from Simplicity. They're trying to bait out their Anti-Mage, but we're going to see people coming out mid anyway. And Tiny honestly could probably outpush 3 or 4 heroes simultaneously of Simplicity's lineup right now. I mean, just look at how fast he kills creep waves.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Tiny's going to be walking up mid here. Looks like he wants to try to go into the base to do some damage. Pushing against the Darkseer, though, is always dangerous. Tiny does have a BKB. If he really wants to, he could honestly just tunnel vision the tower. But I don't know if they want to go that route necessarily. Leaving Anti-Mage to his own devices is probably not a good idea. Heart finished on AM, by the way. Ooh, and it looks like Simplicity wants to engage into this. They're going to be the ones running up. Yes, he's actually going to go in. Roshan's about halfway up right now. They're going to see Leshrac out on the side. Oh, is he going to get the haste through? And he pops his BKB. But the BKB actually removes the haste instead. And it looks like siL's going to go right in there. And Shadow Demon just gets completely evaporated. BKB popped by the Tiny as well. Stun only hits 1. Brewmaster Ultimate was popped right there. And the Darkseer wall going down as well. So right now it looks like Happy Cat is going to lose his Aegis. The Brewmaster Illusions are still alive. Is AM going to continue to chase this? Is he going to blink to the high ground or choose to go for the 2 low HP heroes? Looks like Tiny is just 2v1ing right now. He gets Orchided, pulled in. Is he going to go down? One more auto attack will seal the deal. Storm gets that kill. The Aegis is pretty much just paying this entire team fight in dividends right now. Shadow Demon has bought back. Crystal Maiden's still there. Anti-Mage still wants these kills, though. He's going to go in right here. He gets frozen in place. Edict is popped. He's going to Manta out of it a little bit late. Can he get the last hit? He does. Onto Leshrac. Gets the kill. And now it looks like they might want to be pushing down mid, but they did lose 2 for that and the Aegis. That was a pretty hectic team fight in the middle of the river. BKBs popped everywhere. Brewmaster Ultimate, Darkseer wall. But Simplicity did come out ahead there for sure. No doubt about that. Man, and the Gold and Experience are just so close. Experience still slightly in favor of Beliebers at this point, but after that team fight, I have to think that it's going to be going back into Simplicity's favor. Late game hero kills are a huge source of experience. Another 1,300 gold saved up on Anti-Mage. Might be looking to go for a Butterfly, which would be a great option for him. Oh, siL going in right onto Crystal Maiden here. Needs to be careful, though. He does pop his BKB. Crystal Maiden actually has a Ghost Scepter, so that Orchid is actually taking quite a while to go off. Is he really going to live through this? Oh, no, one more auto attack and the vacuum as well. Looks like Kitty was there in the back just to help him out. Now we're going to have Tiny come back middle here. Soul Catcher was used. Oh, nice popping of the pipe right there to mitigate the damage done from the toss. Right now we got Simplicity still forming at mid. Crystal Maiden's dead for another 25 seconds. So right now, looks like the track is currently bottom, and I think that they might want to go on this. Does siL have enough mana to jump? He does. Oh man, this could be a huge deal. And siL's going to go right in. Oh, he doesn't have the mana to Orchid though, but it doesn't even matter. Look at how fast Leshrac dies to the AM. And it might have gotten to that point where AM is just too much to deal with. And in the meantime, Kitty is just fighting 1v2 right here. Needs to be careful though. Mask of Madness also picked up by the Tiny. He's just going all out damage. I don't know if that was the best option per se. As now he can die a lot faster, especially with his BKB down. Even the right-click damage of Anti-Mage at this point is pretty scary. Already up to 2,300 gold, and it might have just been long enough of a game for Simplicity to take it just because of Anti-Mage. siL has done a pretty good job so far of picking people off in the later stages of the game. That's a huge deal as well. Oh, here comes Tiny, though. Blink in from Cakes. He does throw out the clap, and immediately Ultimate's Darkseer Wall's dropped. Auto attacks coming out from Tiny, doing so much damage. People are stacked on top of each other, just getting annihilated. Boogaloo throws out the Chain Frost, but he drops, and now Tiny goes down as well. Currently a 2-for-1, and it looks like CM will go down as well. siL getting the Shadow Demon kill, and 4 heroes still standing right now for Simplicity. And what earlier looked like a really good game coming out of Beliebers, Simplicity just says, you know what? Late game Anti-Mage. And that just trumps anything that you had going for you. So, right now, it is still a very close game in terms of kills. 25-27. Simplicity looks like they are going to take middle racks here. Could potentially rotate down bottom if they wanted to. siL doesn't have the mana quite yet to jump on that Lesh, although he is pretty close. We'll see if he wants to go for it. BKB is there if he wants to pop it, dropping the Remnant there. Killing the creep wave along with the stun from Leshrac, trying to do some harassment damage. We see Happy Cat trying to run away. But his heart regen even outdoes the tower damage. I mean, that's just so much to deal with. Cakes is alive here. 1 lane down. Being 1 lane down against an Anti-Mage is not a position you want to be in at all. And Roshan's back up too, by the way, so that means that pretty much free Rosh on top of that middle lane. And after that, Anti-Mage is going to be really close to whatever next tier item he wants to buy, whether that be a Butterfly, MKB. Pretty much anything under the sun would be pretty good for him at this point. Even a Basher wouldn't be too bad, especially because the BKBs from the Leshrac and the Tiny. And it looks like Beliebers know that there could be a feasible Rosh attempt, so they're just going to make a dive straight to Rosh. But they're not going to find anyone there, actually. siL has a regen rune, using that Remnant to scout it out. This is actually a really good idea, because they know that Beliebers might be anticipating a Rosh. They can bait this out. And Cakes actually blinked in. If siL wants to go, he could potentially go on this. He does have his BKB up. Oh, they're going to see the Leshrac from the high ground. He doesn't go in, though. Everyone currently here. It's a pretty tense situation. It looks like Kitty's going to go in, surges himself right in. There's the Anti-Mage, and he's going to take out Leshrac before he gets basically any damage done. Actually, Leshrac's still alive. Pops the BKB, but siL goes to the high ground with his ult to get him. There's a stun toss combination going off onto Darkseer. He's going to be the first one to drop for Simplicity, and siL might be taking the fall here as well. But he immunes the auto attack with his ultimate, and Roshan is hitting him in the pit. He gets to the high ground with his ultimate once again, escaping from a bad situation. Now Lich and Shadow Demon both chasing down this poor Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon dropping to the AM right there with the Lich assistance and another 4 down. Only getting the Darkseer. And I gotta think after that, this is gonna be close to a good game. I can't believe that Storm lived through that. Sheep in this bottom lane right here, 1800 gold. Level 13, doing pretty well as a support. And Happy Cat's just running straight down. He doesn't even care. He's like, you know what, Tower, you don't do any damage to him anyway. It's cool. I'll just attack you and not lose HP. And it's kind of looking like Simplicity's going to take this best of 3 series for ECAL qualifications 2-0 over Beliebers. Gotta hand it to him. I kind of had my doubts in the mid part of the game. Oh, wow, here comes Storm off from the side. This is just mean. Poor CM. There's the Orchid pop as well. siL BKBs himself, but this second set of racks is going to fall. I would expect to see the GGs coming out relatively soon. So I guess the strange Storm Spirit build ended up working out for him. Phase Boots, Orchid, BKB. I have seen Phase Boots before, but never really partnered with Orchid right away. And I think we're going to probably be seeing a last-ditch effort coming out here from Beliebers if they want to keep themselves into this game. Or we might just see Kitty go in and vacuum 4 people into a Darkseer wall. BKB's popped, and Kitty is going to pay with his life right here, but not before CM, Shadow Demon, and Leshrac are all dead. Actually, CM was dead before the fight even started, but looks like Cakes is actually in a bit of trouble now, too. Orchid is popped. He does have his ultimate. Chain Frost from long distance gets the kill. Boogaloo. Support kill right there. 4, 7, and 11. Represent. Happy Cat gets frozen in place. 8,000 gold in his inventory. Don't really think he minds too much about the situation at hand. And siL just going in once again on that CM, trying to get a kill. Mask of Madness popped by Ryu, doing quite a bit of damage to siL. He actually gets a kill with the cleave. Oh my god, he gets the kill with the cleave. And he beats down the Storm Spirit, who immediately buys back into the game. And Divine Rapier is purchased by Anti-Mage. That's probably going to be the nail in the coffin. Or he's going to go try to kill Roche really fast and then end the game. Oh my god, look at how fast Roshan's dying. He does so much damage. He hits her for 500. Yeah, and this is going to be a very fast Rosh, and then likely a very fast GG coming out shortly thereafter. 30 to 35, though, one of the closer games we've had in this entire ECAL qualification tournament. Once again, I want to thank you guys for joining me so much. My name is Draskyl. I will be casting most of the ECAL stuff, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure everybody has pretty much told me that up to this point. And siL's going to go in once again on Crystal Maiden. That is just so mean. Like, why would you pick on him? 13, 5, and 11 right now. I think at least half those kills have to be CM dying that same way. Tiny's going to be down here popping his Mask of Madness. Has an ultimate orb too. siL being forced to pop the BKB. Look at how fast that Tiny is, man. Holy cow. Oh, nice immune right there on the stun after the BKB wears off. Tiny needs to be careful, though. Anti-Mage blinking in here after he gets cursed. And he does have that Rapier. Cake's going to pop his ultimate immediately. This could be the last fight of the game. Darkseer Wall does drop. Happy Cat taking a ton of damage. Going to be forced back. Is Kitty really going to drop here, too? Stun goes off. And he will go down, so I don't think Happy Cat wants to fight this. He could honestly just go to another lane and just try to push down the two currently standing tier 4 towers, I guess you would call them, sitting right in front of the throne. And I think that is going to be his plan. Man, what a ridiculous game. This is actually a very, very good game. I'm pretty happy with the outcome. And a little bit unfortunate that it couldn't be taken to a 3-3, but gotta hand it to the Dire team. siMplicity, they played great. Wow, Reaver picked up on Sheep as well. Looks like he wants that extra HP to not instantly die to combos. Definitely understandable. Ryu making his way back top, and this Tiny has been playing great too. I think even if they don't win, this Tiny has done an excellent job getting his farm up, making sure he was a dominant team fighting force, and he just didn't have quite enough in him to get himself out of this situation. Got some pings going out. There's 4 people just sitting in the left-hand side of the jungle. I guess they're waiting for the Darkseer to try to fight. Gonna blink forward here by the Anti-Mage. Just doing a bit of leapfrogging here. Seeing if they can find anyone to pick off. And siMplicity is looking to take the last 2 set of racks. This could be potentially not just the last game of the series, but the last game of the day. I don't know if we have any extra, but I will be checking after this. Open brackets are open brackets commonly. BKB pop by siL after he goes in right there. Getting the auto attack down. Brewmaster open pop once again. There's the wall. BKB's pop though as well. siL goes right back in. Wow, CML doing a ton of damage to Kitty. Almost dies immediately. Happy Cat getting taken down very fast as well. A bit of a strange targeting right there. He does have his Aegis though, and CM's going to be able to TP away with no HP. Ryu's in trouble though. He might get taken down here. Gets Cycloned with that Divine Rapier, not doing any damage as of yet. Are you kidding me? Are they really going to defend this? The Anti-Mage is back alive, and they do end up killing somebody, but Tiny buys back right into the game, and they're going to go straight back on the Anti-Mage. He is just getting taken to town right here, and Sheep isn't even going to make it out. Oh, Happy Cat wants to go for the tower, but he's going to get Drunken Hazed again. He's going to be forced back. A Divine Rapier Anti-Mage just got pushed out of a base. I don't even know what to say. So I guess he's going to go buy a BKB? BKB or a Butterfly, I guess. He has enough for either. Well, a Butterfly, he needs a bit more, but... I can't believe that they didn't just lose the game right there. We'll just watch Anti-Mage and admire the fact that he kills creeps in 2 swings for a while. As everyone else from his team is dead anyway, and there's not much to be said other than there's a lot of buildings missing right now in Belieber's base. 6,100 gold. You know what would be cool is if he went double Rapier. That would be man mode. And at this point in the game, gotta kind of wonder if Beliebers can actually get themselves back in. They're kind of making it seem like they still have a chance, which doesn't really seem feasible, especially considering the kind of farm that Anti-Mage has. I mean, he has 344 CS. I mean, it's not the most farmed I've ever seen of any mage, but in comparison, I mean, Tiny's the most farmed at 310 on Belieber's team, and he does buy a BKB, so he doesn't want to get hazed anymore. He just wants to be able to go in there and get his right clicks off. And they are sitting mid as 5, I guess. You can see Tiny kind of walking his way through the jungle here. Is he going for a Hex? He definitely almost has it. If he does get his Hex, he'll be able to take Anti-Mage out if he gets it done relatively fast. And then we're going to have the Storm Spirit as well, who only has a 5-second BKB. They can Hex him as well. And Tiny's damage is not to be underestimated, man. He still hits really freaking hard and fast with that Mask of Madness Hyperstone combo. And he will be finishing his Hex here. So he also now has a full inventory, aside from finishing that AC. We're gonna win, says Ryu. I want to have faith in you, man. I really do. But I just don't see how it's possible. We're going to see Simplicity make their way towards the Radiant side jungle. Possibly looking to end the game. This could be the second quote-unquote game-ending push that we've seen so far. But Belieber's not giving up yet. Just waiting to see the last potential push here. Simplicity sitting on the high ground, way out of the base right now. Happy Cat still has his BKB and that Rapier. We should see siL go in right here. He does go right on the Leshrac. That's a perfect initiation. And Leshrac dies before he can do anything at all. And now Anti-Mage is going right onto Tiny. This is proper targeting now. They're going to be able to do a lot of damage. However, Lich and siL both very low. There's the Hex as well. siL will go down, so only a 2-for-1. Lesh and CM for just a Storm Spirit. And that Anti-Mage is doing everything that he can to go ahead and end this game. And they're just going to tunnel vision the racks. Can they defend it? That's the problem. The boulder throw from the Earth aspect onto AM, but he's just going to kill it so fast after the fortification wears off. Boogaloo might be in a bit of trouble now too. BKBs are down. He just two-shot the Shadow Demon. And Tiny doesn't last very long either. This has got to be GG. Oh man, what a game. This is probably, I would say, the best game that I've seen throughout this entire tournament. Maybe even one of the best games that I've seen in a while in general. I really got to hand it to both teams. They played amazingly well, but the throne is going to die here. The GG's coming out. But that is it for this best of 3. Simplicity takes it 2-0 over Beliebers for one of the last games of this tournament. Apparently we do have one more to cast. I might be casting with Grant. I'm not sure. I'm sure he's still here somewhere, but I might be coming back with the co-caster. Once again, I want to thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes with hopefully another game. Might have a co-caster, might not. My name is Draskyl. Once again, thanks again, and please stick with us.